Hi, my name is Nikola Stefanovic. This is a video about corporal punishment in schools in China. I've selected this topic because I feel this is an area that is not fully defined by law. China is a country where tradition carries a lot of weight, and traditional methods of teaching and disciplining are still present. Here's the structure of the video. If we research deep enough, we can find the historic roots of corporal punishment going even farther than the Bible. I am not inclined to do so, but here's a snapshot of what the Bible has to say about corporal punishment. For as long as the education in the Western world and its colonies drew on Christian heritage for wisdom, it also used physical punishment because the justification was written in their sacred texts. This is not a phenomenon typical of any one country or civilization. In the Confucian tradition, corporal punishment also has roots that run deep. Two main ideals of the Confucian tradition are filial piety and obedience. Should one not receive those from a child, he was justified in using physical punishment. For the good of the child, of course, just like in the Christian tradition. The seminal UN document safeguarding these rights is the Convention on the Rights of the Child. It entered into force in 1990 and prohibits physical or mental abuse of children. The three main pieces of legislation in China that regulate this area are Law of the People's Republic of China on the Protection of Minors, Compulsory Education Law of the People's Republic of China, and Teachers' Law of the People's Republic of China. Corporal punishment was outlawed in Chinese schools in 1986. The Chinese government is notoriously opaque on the figures, but I was able to find some cases in the news. What effect do these laws have in practice? Based on how the media reports about incidents and the editorial policies are indicative of the government's stance, child abuse is taken very seriously in recent years. This is in line with a wider push by the authorities to introduce stricter adherence to the country's laws, which has had mixed success. In my personal experience, the schools are trying to inform the teachers of the laws in effect. The schools have great fear of government crackdown, which can be quite harsh. Sometimes the schools are forced to close due to this kind of incidents, as the Zhejiang case from 2012 illustrates. The news reports show that the principal was removed and the teacher was arrested for provoking a disturbance. This crime carries a maximum of 5 years in prison and is often used in similar cases. For their own protection from unfounded claims and the protection of the students, the schools use CCTV systems to monitor and record what happens in schools. Training centers also have pairs of teachers, so they are monitoring each other. Often, the classroom feed would be shown in the reception area where the children's relatives can observe what goes on inside. As far as the critique of the existing laws in China goes, the laws leave much to be desired. There is no clear definition of what constitutes inappropriate behavior. Similarly, the abuse of a child is not itself a criminal offense, so other classifications are used, such as provoking a disturbance. I believe that the ambiguity in Chinese laws is intentional so that the government can choose a favorable interpretation when it so deems needed. As a quick internet search will show you, cases involving child abuse in schools are not a rarity in China. What is cause of great concern is that many cases are in remote rural areas, and it is safe to assume that there is a large number of incidents that doesn't get reported or doesn't make it to the media. As for the way for parents or guardians to report abuse, the go-to method is to call the police. Schools are often more concerned with their reputations and risk to their businesses if they are privately owned, so they would offer a compensation to the parents. In my time as a teacher in China, I've encountered shouting over homework assignments, but never anything more severe than that. The children seem to be accustomed to that, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had it much worse in their regular schools or at home. As I said before, the schools use cameras to record what goes on inside, and school leadership would sometimes monitor remotely while class is in session. Incidents involving foreign teachers are especially interesting to the public and are followed by harsh comments of the Chinese netizens. I have no doubt that the law would be particularly clear in the need for a strict punishment towards a foreign teacher who mistreats a Chinese student. You can find all the resources I used in the description of the video. Thanks for watching.